This month on Inquisitive, Your Miracle Resource, the podcast, we discuss communication. Is your workplace culture a gift?
Well, welcome back, I suppose, to December's Inquisitive, Your Miracle Resource. So today we're talking about workplace culture and communication, and if it's a gift, and it's like the giving season. So I figured we'd talk about something present back.
It should be a gift. You're right. It's Christmas and it should be a gift. It makes life easier. Hey, I didn't know if you wanted to start with the story we were sent from one of our listeners. Do you want to explain it? Okay, so everyone, we asked you to give us some stories, and we said don't give names or companies, but let us know about the toxic work culture you've experienced, and we'll talk about some solutions. So I'm going to share the story without all of the details so that we can never be traced back. But the person who wrote to us shared that they're a top performer in their company, and another top performer happened to swat a bug at the back of their head, literally hitting our top performer in the head, leaving a bruise. Now, when our top performer, who was hit in the back of the head, went to their manager promised full support because, of course, they went to HR as they should. Here's what happened. They did not get the support from the manager. They continued to have the toxic work culture. And I look at this situation, Sarah, and I say, it didn't have to be this way. You know, in some households, people think it's okay to whack somebody in the back of the head to hit a bug. Now, without training, and again, you would say, but doesn't this person just already know you shouldn't touch fellow employees? Well, we don't know the intention of the person who made the swat to the back of the head, but we do know it left a bruise. And we do know that when we touch other employees without their, again, consent in any way, what happens is that we can have problems. And in a toxic workplace, what happens is problems are shoved under the rug. And we hear, Sarah and I, all the time from families that say problems were shoved under the rug. And then what happens? They become big. And what happens is you have a toxic workplace culture. So the solution, honestly, is to have training and to talk about these situations, to understand how we work together, how we engage as a team. You know, studies have proven when a workplace communicates with each other and people talk respectfully, they have greater revenue, they have greater growth, they're working as a team toward the goal. So keep sending us these stories, everyone. I feel horrible for the person, I know Sarah does too, that happened to. But eventually this top performer, because she was not supported, left that company. And that company lost an incredible asset. So I want all of the leaders and all the people who listen to this podcast to know we are always here to take your stories. We will never share them exactly, but we'll share them and provide some solutions, because we do know that each one of us is raised differently. What is appropriate in one household is different than another household. And we always ask people to be professional, yet we continue to see these toxic workplace stories. So instead of not offering training, that means that we won't have employees who are a gift to each other. If we train as a gift, that is the gift. Give that gift so people know how to work together, and employees are gifts to the customers that they help. Leadership is a gift to the employees. And at the end of the year, we can give more gifts because our revenue has gone up because we worked as a team. So Sarah, thanks for letting me share that one, because when that came through, I sent it to Sarah right away and I said, oh man, this story is just, it's incredible that this happened. It's just awful. And again, without a solution, these problems get swept under the rug and they keep coming up. And then it's impossible to be a gift.
Yeah, I totally, absolutely. Because I feel like when you sent me that story, it was almost a domino effect. Not only was the initial action, but it was the reaction that just dominoed throughout the entire company. And it was just so unfortunate that that person had to go through it. However, there are solutions to it. And it's just give the gift to your company back and you will get that return. Like, it'll just change the whole outlook and atmosphere of everything.
Well said. That's so true. We can't expect people to come into the workplace and know how to behave. We think after they go to school and after they've worked some jobs and done an internship. But what's acceptable to one person is very different than another. And I like how, Sarah, you pulled from chapter 2 some of the gifts. You know, when we talk about people on their worst behavior, what happens is that we bring that home, we tell our spouse, we tell our family, we're in a rotten mood. With inquisitive culture, we look at it, we strategize it, and we stop obsessing over it, and we stop letting it into our thoughts, and we have a strategy in the workplace. So thanks for pulling out in chapter 2, the listening and observing. Thanks, Sarah. That's good.
Yeah, always. Like I always like to reference the book because it's a great tool to just walk into the workplace, and it definitely applies to.
Well, I liked your cast of characters that you pulled out of chapter 2, and you talked about the anxiety bully and the strategic bully and the I'm too busy person, the spider, and the person whose image is more important. This one I want to talk about, if it's okay with you, Sarah, because we've talked on the podcast about anxiety bullies and strategic bullies. Obviously, it's in the book for everyone, and we're always here to help. But if we could talk about the image person, because I think this is real interesting. This person is the one who, the coworker who behaves by dismissing you, not acknowledging you, but in public, what they will do is they may even minimize your importance or say something that makes other people want to join their bandwagon of not hate towards you, but just dismissiveness towards you. But then when they write you something, they kind of feel bad after, and they'll write something like, hey, you were really great in that meeting, but it's never public. It's never like any compliment to you is never public. And we've had a lot of these, Sarah. We've had a lot, especially during the pandemic, of people writing, hey, as a remote worker, I'm hearing this being said, and there's a chat going on, and I don't understand why this person is being so dismissive. But then after the meeting, they'll write me and say, oh my gosh, you did such a great job in the meeting. And you need to listen and to observe and to understand what this person is doing. Don't let it keep you up all night. Understand how you're going to work with that person. And in the book, there's a graph of the type of people that you can encounter in the workplace and how you can deal with that. So Sarah, thanks for letting me bring that up, because that's a slick person who does that. And, you know, again, it can be very upsetting, especially to a new employee. Why is this behavior happening? What should I do? Should I report it? You know, there are people who, after a while, they put up some really kind of strong rules, and the way they deal with people, they put some boundaries up, and then the behavior stops. So the key is to really understand, by listening, observing, why this person is doing what they're doing, and to not put yourself in a position where you can get hurt by this person. Also, at some point, we can call in HR. You know, these types of things keep people up at night, and they keep people leaving a company and switching jobs until you understand how to deal with it. So thanks, Sarah. I wanted to bring that one up.
Yeah, I think by spending so much time and energy focusing on what stresses you out, you could be finding a solution to the issue. And I've ran into those individuals too, where they're your best friend behind closed doors, but when you get in front of them, they're almost like the backhanded complimenter of your dress, but you should be doing this instead. And it's hard to deal with those people because you initially feel great, but then they leave a salty taste in your mouth, and it's very difficult to overcome.
And at Miracle Resources, you know, our team of trainers across the country, we always listen and observe what's happening. And oftentimes I'm brought in to deal with that employee who is a really good worker, but causes those little problems and has those little digs into other coworkers. And what happens is it comes up in their employee review, and then I'm hired to success coach that person. And when I work with that person, one of two things happens. First, the person may say they didn't realize they were doing it, and we work on respectful communication, and they get better. But then there are others who say, oh, that person just can't take a joke. If that culture will allow that, then that person can stay and continue to do that. But what happens is that when we have a situation where someone is reported, we've either got to get them the help so they can get better and to communicate so it's good for the company. Or what happens is that sometimes they have to leave. And the key for all of us to know is when you read this book, Inquisitive Culture, you determine a little more deeply what type of culture you want to work in. What is a gift? What would make you feel like, and I'll just ask you this, Sarah, what would make you feel like your workplace is a gift? What would happen to you on a daily basis that would make you feel like, this job is a gift? What would you say?
I would say that I would want to work harder and provide more for the company that I was working for if I felt as though I was more of a gift and if my emotions and my feelings in the workplace were accounted for. I even have past jobs where I was working, it just didn't function correctly, and it really doesn't make you want to work that hard for your job anymore. And you start to notice that you're even not giving 110%. So if I notice that my employer is treating me as though I'm a gift, or as though my emotions and my feelings towards other people are respected and there's good communication, I will want to work 10 times harder, because my mood will increase, I will be more productive, and in turn, it makes the company happy, because bottom line is that you're going to get more revenue and people are going to boast about you. So word of mouth is a powerful thing too. So not only are you getting great marketing from your employees, you're also getting great revenue. I don't think that's a bad day.
Well said. And you're right. And I feel the same as you. The gift for some people is the money, is, they want a higher salary. But most people report they would just like to feel valued. That comes back in the surveys that we get. They would like to feel appreciated. And I don't want any of the leaders who are listening to think you are the only one who needs to change. It's everyone on the team. Listen to what Sarah just said. When we go into a team training and we listen and we let everybody talk about what kind of culture we want to build together, that means everyone's engaged. If it's just, this is the culture that we have very top down, then what happens is people aren't bought in. So think about work as a gift. There are many people who say that work is worth, and I agree with that. I'm always thankful when someone writes to me and says, I'm having a problem, I need some help. I'm honored that they included me, that they brought it to my attention, and as well, they respect my opinion enough to get it. That's a gift. To me, that's a gift. But I know that as we look at December and our gift giving, what is really the gift? Is it, and this happens a lot, employees will say when we work with companies that, they did a ton of work and worked a ton of hours and did overtime and, really worked hard, and then they got pizza. And they're like, it just would have meant so much more if they got a handwritten note from the CEO. I recently had this from one of the colleges that I teach at. The president of the college wrote a handwritten note to all of us with the gift certificate. Now, if it was just the gift certificate, I'm very thankful. Thanks for the gift. But it was the note, and it was the way it was written and the way everything was said. It was amazing and something special just to me. And it's those things that sometimes we forget about. And people will say, well, doesn't that take more time? No, we get everybody in the room together. We talk about it. Everybody's engaged. We plan for the future. We set some goals. You will learn so much. So leaders, this is not on you. This is on the entire team to take 1 hour a month. That's most of our clients are 1 hour a month. And it is a true gift.
I totally agree with it, like 100%, just up and down, because that's made the difference in my workplaces before. 1 year of just handing out Christmas cards, and next year it was a gift that was thought out. It was something that actually everyone participated in. So we made like merchandise, but everyone got to participate in designing the merchandise. And then the owner of the company had distributed and made us clothing. And then even he told us, or asked of us politely, he said, will some of you guys package this? So it was kind of a really neat thing that everybody got all these. It was just merchandise to some people. To us as employees, we were so proud to wear them because we knew that everyone in the company got to put their hand in the pot. They all got to try something new, and everybody came together and wrapped presents, even though it was all the same thing. It was really great to say, oh my gosh, this person did it and this person, and it felt like almost a family rather than just here's a t-shirt, thanks for working for the year or something. But it wasn't anything that really was a lot of cost on his end, but it meant a lot that he would do it, or he would write us Christmas cards, and he would go through, and you could tell that he would write everyone a separate note. And it was one of those things that I thought was just so personal. And it's it just makes you feel humble. It makes you feel like you're a part of something greater than just the job that pays the bills or anything like that. I think there's a difference between the job that you want to sink your teeth into and a job that just keeps the lights on.
And for everybody this month, we have a special on the book. We have some companies that everyone in the company is reading the book. And listen to what Sarah said. When they did something together, when they were participating in something together, it's kind of like a book club. And they'll read the book together, discuss the book, and as well engage together. It is a great gift for everyone to be reading the same thing instead of the silos of, well, leadership is reading this and the salespeople are reading this and production is reading this. As Sarah said, yes, it is something that was for work, but it was something they were all doing together. And I just want to take a moment to say for everybody who's listening, the month of December is a gift, and we want to be a gift to you. Take this podcast, share it with others. These are quick solutions that help people. Yes, the stories are scary, like our October podcast. We talked about the scary stories. It seems like every month we get some scary story, but we know that we can provide a solution. And we also know it's not just up to one person, it's up to the entire company. So consider for your December read, or even for the new year, Inquisitive Culture, because it is a good team read, and then you can discuss it. We would love that. We are also going to be offering some online classes designed for when you can make it. So that's the difference. I see all the time people say, well, this appointment is going to be at 3:00 on a Thursday. Miracle Resources never does that. You tell us when it is good for you. We will set up that training. I think people really need it because this podcast is December of 2020. And since March 10th of 2020, life for all of us has changed. And I think we all need that pickup right now. Sarah sent me, because we were talking about handwritten notes, the most beautiful handwritten note. I couldn't even believe it. I was crying. It was so beautiful. And those of you who have been to our trainings, I tell a story about Sarah, and I actually have a picture of her from when she was an intern. And I took her to Walmart to get her an iPod, right? Your iPod got stolen out of your car. And we talk about listening, and she's telling me this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be the perfect gift for her. Now, this year, because she didn't have a stolen iPod, we did a little manicure because she needed we wanted her to feel special for her birthday. So each one of us knows that if we listen, we can find out what people really need. And I just want to stress that during this pandemic, each one of us is experiencing this in a different way. And coming together as a team, and it's not that you have to buy somebody an iPad or a manicure, okay? It's not always about a money gift. It could just be listening to what's going on with them. There are some people by December 2020, they are just so upset with everything that's happening, and they just don't have any hope. And part of being a team is realizing when one person is down, you can bring them up. And there's going to be a time when you're down too. It's not about perfection. It's about everybody learning the strengths of the team, and especially during a time of crisis, using those well. So I just want to end with that. And Sarah, for other comments that you have as well, this is December. It's all about being a gift, and your team should be a gift to you, and you should be a gift to your team. So just wanted to share that with you guys before Sarah closes.
Yeah, be a gift to your team. Sometimes all it takes, I know lately this year, I think I've been on more phone calls than I can count. My whole thing is I always told people you can always call me to lend an ear. And this year I've had people call me that never talked to me on the phone before and they just wanted to talk. And sometimes that's the greatest gift you can give. Even if, like I said, it's people that don't talk on the phone that are calling me because they're this stressed out about this time of year. So a gift doesn't, I know it's hard to get it out of your head. A gift does not mean monetary. a gift could just be an open ear. So I absolutely love that.
I love what you said. That's a good quote. By the way, Santa is bringing me a 6-foot long standing desk. I cannot wait. I am tired of sitting on Zooms. I think the rest of you are as well. Please know when we do our training, it's interactive. We had a training in April where we had a DJ. It was so fun. We did trivia and then we did the training. It was great. So I want you to know you're going to be standing up, getting active if you do training with Miracle Resources. And again, I'll be using my standing desk. I'll show you guys next month.
Ooh, that'll be exciting. I should invest
For those watching my video, you'll be able to see it.
That'll be really cool. I'm currently sitting on the floor, so maybe I'll just get into yoga.
Yeah, yoga while you work. Love it. Well, everyone, be a gift this December. And again, know that we're here to help you with any problems that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. Send us an email. Let us know. Even if you have a great workplace story that you came up with a solution, we'd love to be able to share it and, give the gift back. So if anyone would like to submit any stories, good, bad, we'd be happy to read them. Everything stays confidential, so don't worry. Yeah, I guess we'll just catch you back next month in January 2021.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, happy holidays and a happy new year.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Hey everybody, it's Sarah from the podcast. If you'd like to submit your stories, you can send them to km@miracleresources.com with the subject line Inquisitive Your Miracle Resource. We'd love to hear from you if you have any struggling workplace problems. You will remain completely anonymous, and in the stories all the names will change. We'd love to hear from you, and we will see you back here next month. Bye.